WNBA Finals, and so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments, and so all I'll say is just...
The $28 million figure didn't just make headlines, it shattered the entire power structure of professional women's basketball. As the year closes, the WNBA looks nothing like it did just 2 years ago, and at the center of this transformation is one contract that sent the league's front office into a quiet panic. While Caitlin Clark appears calm in public, smiling through injury rehab and promoting her new Nike signature line, the reality behind closed doors is far more tense. This isn't just a sponsorship deal, it represents a massive shift in influence, one that exposed how unprepared the league was for the star who was supposed to save it. In 2025, Clark earned nearly $20 million from endorsements, while her WNBA salary hovered just above $114,000. That kind of financial gap is unheard of in professional sports. For every dollar the league paid her, Nike and its partners paid nearly $200. The commissioner is reportedly furious, veterans are resentful, and the old power balance has flipped completely. The WNBA once controlled the narrative, marketing, and star-making process, but with a $28 million war chest and alternative leagues emerging, Caitlin Clark now holds the leverage. The tension began the moment Clark left Iowa, when a bidding war unlike anything women's sports had seen erupted. Adidas, Under Armour, and others made aggressive pitches, offering equity, creative control, and long-term influence. Nike ultimately won with an 8-year, $28 million deal that included a signature shoe, something even established legends had not secured at the time. Insiders say this wasn't just a paycheck, it was a signal to the world that the biggest star in the building wasn't the WNBA itself, but Caitlin Clark. For a league that had always dictated the narrative, that realization was deeply unsettling. From Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's perspective, the deal was a public embarrassment. After years of trying to present the WNBA as a stable, growing business, a rookie arrived whose endorsement income in a single year eclipsed what many players would earn across entire careers. Every media mention of Clark's Nike money forced an uncomfortable comparison to her league salary, exposing the financial limitations the commissioner had long tried to downplay. It created the damaging perception that the WNBA was merely a platform for Clark's real business, being a global Nike athlete. That perception only grew stronger in 2025, when injuries kept Clark off the court for nearly 70% of the season. In a traditional sports model, that would hurt both the player and the league. Instead, Clark's brand continued to grow. She remained the highest-earning player in women's basketball despite barely playing, proving that the Caitlin Clark economy could survive without the WNBA. Meanwhile, attendance and viewership dipped noticeably during her absence, raising an even more uncomfortable question: can the WNBA survive without her? Inside locker rooms, resentment has reportedly simmered since her arrival. The league's long-standing, wait-your-turn culture clashed with the reality of a rookie entering with a $28 million deal and a signature shoe before playing a single professional minute. Veterans who spent years playing overseas for modest pay saw the attention and money Clark received as deeply unfair. This tension spilled into public discourse, especially when stars like Aya Wilson lacked signature shoes while Clark already had one, fueling fan wars and deepening the divide between old guard and new era. The private flight controversy further intensified that resentment. For decades, WNBA players traveled commercial and were told charter flights were financially impossible. Shortly after Clark's arrival, security concerns surged and the league suddenly found $25 million to fund a charter program. While beneficial for everyone, the optics were brutal. To many veterans, it felt like the league ignored their safety for years and only acted once a generational star arrived, reinforcing the idea that Clark symbolized new money built on old sacrifices. A darker theory continues to circulate about why the league failed to curb the excessive physical play directed at Clark early in her career. Critics believe the commissioner's office stayed silent to avoid accusations of favoritism, prioritizing optics over player safety. Instead of humbling Clark, the strategy backfired, alienating new fans and making the league appear hostile and unprofessional. Now, with Nike heavily invested, Clark has a level of corporate protection the league cannot ignore, and rumors suggest sponsors have pressured officials to ensure her safety. Officiating only added fuel to the fire. While NBA stars receive immediate whistles, Clark endured constant grabbing, shoving, and full-court pressure with little protection. The league, fearful of backlash, allowed a level of physicality that crossed into recklessness. In trying to balance equality narratives and public perception, the WNBA ended up pleasing no one and damaging its own credibility. The commissioner's struggles were further exposed during the late 2024 PR crisis, when Engelbert compared toxic fan behavior to the Bird-Magic rivalry. Players and the union immediately pushed back, making it clear that hate speech was not marketing. That moment signaled a widening disconnect between league leadership and its players, while Clark remained silent, financially secure, and untouched by the controversy, a silence that only reinforced her leverage. The launch of the Unrivaled League in early 2025 delivered the final blow to the WNBA's monopoly. Offering higher average salaries for a shorter season and real equity, it showed players there were alternatives. Even without Clark's direct participation, the mere existence of another option shifted negotiating power. The WNBA suddenly faced the reality that if its biggest star ever chose to leave, the league's valuation could collapse overnight. By 2025, Clark's influence had reached an unprecedented level. She played only about 30% of the season, yet her endorsement income increased, proving her brand was no longer dependent on games played. This completely changed the balance in upcoming labor negotiations. The league needs Clark to sell tickets and media rights, but she doesn't need the league to remain financially dominant. When one side is desperate and the other is indifferent, the power is already decided. In the end, the $28 million Nike deal didn't just enrich Caitlin Clark, it exposed a system built for a different era. The WNBA, constrained by an outdated salary cap and limited revenues, cannot match the market value of its biggest stars. Clark's wealth, influence, and independence have revealed a hard truth: the league needs her far more than she needs the league. And that realization, more than anything else, is what has left the commissioner furious and the future of women's basketball at a crossroads.